Running Back Nation, what is good? Sixers, sickos, what is good? Running Back Philly right here, all offseason. Hit the like button for me one time. And subscribe to the channel if you watch these videos and are not subscribed. Nick Nurse did an interview on 97.5 The Fanatic. And I will link the full show in the description. And the 97.5 YouTube channel. Shout out to my guy Pete, subscriber, member of the channel. He dropped this to me in the DMs, and I haven't heard this interview yet. So I want to listen to it and react to it, man. Let's go ahead and do that right now. Why not? Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Let's listen to Nick Nurse on 97.5 The Fanatic.
I am like enamored with getting talent and making it fit, or do you go out and look for the fit and bring that in? As a head coach, does it matter to you? Will you make anything that you get fit somehow?
Well, I think that
Solid question.
you want to fit pieces together, right? It is a puzzle when you're putting a roster together and you're trying to fit pieces together the best that you can, I think. And then once you got them here, you got to start taking a look at it and then making adjustments and moving it around. So it's a little bit of both.
Okay. And
Safe answer. A little bit of both. The title of this video, by the way, is asking Nick Nurse if this is the most talented team he's ever coached. And you can't go there yet. You know what I'm saying? Because that 2019 Raptors team was absolutely stacked. Let's continue.
And now with what you have here,
Yeah.
do you see it as an easier being able to fit it maybe with a Maxey, George, Embiid, and all that?
I think that's a great fit. Obviously, the Paul George thing was a huge signing, right? But I don't want to underestimate or overlook, I think, all the other little pieces that I thought were vitally important. Like where you want to start. You want to start with Drummond. I think it was really important that we got a really good backup or starter-capable guy when Joel's not playing, or a guy to play big minutes even when he is playing.
Oh, that was interesting right there. I obviously agree with that. Shout out to our guy, Paul Reed. Sorry you took you caught a stray right there, but the fact that Nick Nurse said that Drummond could play big minutes even when Embiid does play, that's interesting that Nick Nurse, I think, is going to try to find a way to use Andre Drummond to help out the rebounding issue. Apparently, even when Joel Embiid is playing, was he saying that Joel and Andre Drummond are going to play on the floor together? I don't know if that's possible, but maybe he'll try it.
That was huge in Andre Drummond. I think adding some veteran presence in Eric Gordon, bringing back Kyle Lowry, who I've been with for
How washed is Eric Gordon? I need to know. I need you guys to answer me in the comments right now if you know for a fact how washed Eric Gordon is, because nobody's really talking about the Eric Gordon signing. Nobody seems to care about the Eric Gordon signing. I don't know what he has left. You let me know in the comments. How about that?
10 years now. Certainly helps me in the locker room and helps me get the game plans across and all those kind of things. I loved how Oubre was trending upward at the end. And then obviously Caleb Martin. I think we hit PG at the top of the big group who was available, and then we hit Caleb Martin in the middle group that arguably was probably rated the top guy in that group too. So again, checking off a lot of things that we needed to get done, so they're all important.
You mentioned trending up there when talking about Oubre, but trending upward certainly in Tyrese Maxey and where he sits in this league.
There's people that are telling me the Sixers didn't get better, by the way. And it just blows me away that you watch that roster last season do what they did, and you watch the upgrades and you're telling me they didn't get better. It doesn't make any sense to me.
What's a day like today for you when you know the work that he puts in, you know obviously the leap that he took last season? What's it like for you to see one of your players get rewarded like this and have a moment like this?
Well, it's awesome. It's usually like the best thing, other than maybe winning it all. Like the next best thing right under that is to see, especially guys maybe that weren't just like a lock to do this kind of stuff, right? Like there's a handful of guys that where they're picked and how good they are, that they're going to get to this point. It's just a matter of time. But have a guy that was drafted a little lower, work his way through it, and then you get to be a small part of it. That's kind of what coaching is about, right? So, I'm super happy for him and his family, but mostly, as you guys know, he's an incredible guy to coach, right? He works. He's unbelievable. I could never stop him when I was coaching against him. I think the ceiling is still up there a ways for him and where he's going. So, and he's young, man. That's all exciting stuff.
When you have as much talent as you have on this roster now, is it like, do you have to ask these stars sometimes to change their games a little bit?
This is, by the way, this is why Pete sent this to me. I think this question right here is because it's something about Joel Embiid possibly playing less minutes or changing the way that he plays, I think. Let's hear it.
And if you do, is that one of the hardest things that you have to do is games a little bit? And if they ask these stars sometimes roster now, is it like, do you have to ask these stars sometimes to change their games a little bit? And if you do, is that one of the hardest things that you have to do as a coach?
Yeah, I think going in, I wouldn't say that I'm going to come in there and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. Or I think I'm going to let it unfold a little bit organically. I would say that I'm going to have some patience. Certainly got some ideas, but most of them are in pencil. Right.
So you're saying you don't have a Doc Rivers pecking order?
Right now, seriously about like what we're even going to run, what we're going to do. I would expect a lot of experimentation on schemes, both sides of the ball. And again, I always say this: when something doesn't work, I'll crumple it up faster than the next guy and throw it away. Right?
Like Paul Reed and Embiid playing 3 minutes on the floor together and then never seeing it again. Nick Nurse did not like what he saw, and he never tried it again. But again, I love Nick Nurse's flexibility and experimentation over the last guy that we had, and I'm going to continue to say that it's a breath of fresh air.
But that it will unfold. I think what we play like at the end won't be what it's like at the beginning. Even like rotations, minutes, who looks good together, who's better coming off the bench, who's better starting, what's a second unit look like, all that.
By the way, all the stuff that he just said, don't forget that Tobias Harris was the exception to the rule for some reason. I'll never really know why.
That stuff, I think, needs some eyeballs on it and some time on the court.
Is that tough for you to have that patience?
Not so much.
Okay.
I think there's times when it is, right? I think it's all about your situation you're in. I love it here. I love working for these guys. I think we're on the same page a lot. I think, this is all about winning, and I understand the pressures each and every night to go out there and win. But I also think we've got a pretty tight knit group here, both with our coaching staff and front office, that we know that that's kind of where we're going, and we're willing to have a little patience to get to the end result in the right manner.
You're talking about adjusting games, something Joel Embiid has to do right now with Team USA. How much of him are you watching, and what do you think he's really getting out of this experience right now?
Yeah, I'm watching it all, obviously. I'm getting ready to go over and watch it in person here shortly, so looking forward to that. But listen, I think it's a great experience for him on a number of fronts. One, coming off the injury, I think it gives him a chance to get out there and play and get some quality work in the summer. That to me is like a given. Being around great players, great coaches. And then lastly, the thing that
Steve Kerr,
that I love, I got a lot of. I'm biased towards international basketball. I've been involved in 2 or 3 different teams. So,
he has 2 British League championships, by the way. Nick Nurse does.
These guys play, man. Like, this is a real competition. Like, they are. These guys are giving everything they got. The commitment, the competitiveness, the passion.
Shout out to Shotgun Shyuk. Fuck you, Gilbert Arenas.
That these other teams all the teams play with is almost next to nothing, and I think that is a valuable experience. Every guy I've ever had go over and be a part of this and come back always comes back better when they're playing in the summer. So,
yeah, I love that. I think the fact that Joel Embiid's not getting the calls that he gets in the NBA is going to probably not change the way that he plays entirely, but might change the way that he attacks. As far as expecting a call versus just putting the ball in the damn hoop. I hope that, because I love Joel Embiid, but you guys know I'm not afraid to call him out when he's being a flopping, fucking annoying asshole.
I'm glad he's doing it, and I'm excited for him.
It's funny. I'm watching yesterday, I think it was yesterday against Germany. He gets the ball kind of in a high post, does a little pump fake, and then throws like a little bounce pass underneath. And it's not something we haven't seen. but it's something like, wow, you add that to the repertoire. Oh, yeah, Maxey. Oh, yeah, Paul George. Like, is it little things like that that you see when he's playing with the best in the world that he can carry over to here?
Good question,
and I think,
Pat.
Listen, he not only we know he can score and he can do all these things. I think he really wants to be a facilitator more, and I think that the way people play him almost demands that he becomes more of a facilitator. So
Definitely does.
every time he drops one off to somebody cutting to the rim, I'm excited because he's making the right play and showing that he's capable of it.
Definitely does. We saw more of it last year. You know, we see more of it every year with the doubles and triples that come to Joel as he becomes more of a facilitator. Joel Embiid flirted with triple doubles a lot last year, and a lot of those games he didn't even play the fourth quarter. Triple double Joel incoming this season. Triple double Joel's coming this season.
And we've talked about a number of different moves and a number of different.
And somebody posted something yesterday. I want to throw this out there really quick that Joel and Kelly Oubre have been talking and working a little bit more on Kelly Oubre's backdoor cutting to the basket in kind of an Aaron Gordon, Nikola Jokic role. So, you know, I hope to see a little bit more of that this season with that backdoor cut when Joel gets the ball on like the elbow and gets double teamed. So we'll see.
Different things that have been done so far this offseason. You mentioned Oubre there for a moment.
Yeah.
He had talked at the end of the season just how much he enjoyed playing for you and
Yep.
how much he enjoyed this situation. What do you envision for him this season, and just how excited were you that was able to be worked out to bring him back?
I am excited, I like him. I think that he's just so explosive. It enables him to do a lot of things. Get to the rim, guard, pick up different people. I thought we got a lot out of him defensively last year. He's got the abilities. We just kept asking him to do more and more. I mean, some of it was out of necessity. There wasn't anybody else to do it at times because of injuries and stuff. But
Because of Tobias Harris. I thought he was going to say it. No, I didn't think he was going to say it.
he kept taking it on, and it wasn't always perfect. His season was a little up and down. But I think what excites me is I think he likes it here. He understands the system. He knows we got some faith in him. I think he's got a contract now. Like, you know what I mean? I think he can settle in and just improve and probably give us the best version of himself that we've seen.
Dude, shout out to Kelly Oubre, man. And shout out to just Philly fans being Philly fans. Players love playing in Philly. They play in Philly one time, and they just don't want to play anywhere else, man. Andre Drummond, when he got traded, wanted to come back to Philly. Kelly Oubre potentially took less money to come to back to Philly. Caleb Martin took less money to come to Philly. Come on, man. The writing's on the wall here.
I'll leave you with this. You've won an NBA championship. Could this be the most talented team you've ever coached?
I don't know if it is yet. That team we won it with in 2019 was awful good. When you start talking about, Fred VanVleet coming off the bench, who's now almost a max earner. OG Anunoby didn't even play on that team. He was on that bench. I mean, he got hurt, but Pascal's also Kawhi, Danny Green, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka. That's some names now.
Yeah.
Did he even say Lowry? I don't even think he said Lowry.
Green, Marc Gasol with in 2019 was awful good. When you start talking about, Fred VanVleet coming off the bench, who's now almost a max earner. OG Anunoby didn't even play on that team. He was on that bench. I mean, he got hurt, but Pascal's also Kawhi, Danny Green, Marc Gasol, Serge Ibaka. That's some
Kyle Lowry in his prime.
names now.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a team.
That was a hell of a team. That's what I'm saying, man. That was a hell of a team. And Joel Embiid with a bunch of guys around him who can't shoot outside of J.J. Redick and no point guard, no thanks to Ben Simmons, took that team to 7 games and lost on the most ridiculous shot in history. The fact that Sixers team even got that far is an ode to Joel Embiid, honestly. And, I mean, the fact that J.J. Redick ended up playing point guard basically with Jimmy Butler. The team sucked structure-wise. They shouldn't have even been there. The fact that they got there was incredible. But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're gonna get there.
So you're off to Paris right after here. Is that what it is?
Tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Shout out to Nick Nurse. He's going to Paris on Sunday at 11 a.m. We'll be right here watching the USA versus Germany game live on this channel. So tune into that. Thanks for hanging out with me. Y'all have a great day. Sixers sickos for life. Peace.